Good morning, students. Welcome to ALPHORES e-learning classes. And today we are in economics first year, unit 8. We are discussing about theories of employment and public finance. Theories of employment and public finance. Now, today's topic is Keynesian theory of income and employment. Last 2 days we were discussing about classical theory of employment. You have seen classical theory of employment. In that we have seen goods market equilibrium, second money market equilibrium, and that we have seen wage cut. Okay, wage market equilibrium or labor market equilibrium. So we have seen three. First, goods market, money market and labor market. Those three we did completed in the previous classes. In today's class we are going to discuss about Keynesian theory of income and employment. We already seen those theories, classical theories belongs to pre-Keynesian period. This period from 1936 is called as Keynesian period. He wrote a book, A General Theory of Employment, Interest and Money. He discussed on these few topics of employment. Let me repeat it again. The general theory of employment, interest and money. In 1936 he wrote that book. Who? John Maynard Keynes. So according to him, actually full employment is a rare phenomena, a rare occurring. Generally there is unemployment. Generally there is unemployment. Only rarely you will find the full employment. So government has to involve to create more employment opportunities. According to classical theory, government should not interfere into the market. Yesterday we have seen the assumptions, main aspects, as well as we have seen the criticism. But in fact, government has to involve in removal of unemployment from the society. So according to J.M. Keynes, whatever been wrote in his book of The General Theory of Employment, Interest and Money, which is being wrote in 1936, he explained this Keynesian theory of income and employment. According to him, government has to involve to remove the unemployment. To create the full employment, government has to increase its expenditure. To explain this theory, he used three new words: aggregate supply, aggregate demand and effective demand. He used three words. Aggregate means total. In simple language, aggregate means total. Aggregate supply, total of supply. Aggregate demand, total of demand. And effective demand. Now we are going to see what is this effective demand. Effective demand is where aggregate demand is equal to aggregate supply. That place or that spot is called as effective demand. Wherever aggregate supply and aggregate demand comes to an equilibrium, that equilibrium point is called as effective demand. But effective demand always happens when full employment occurred. The full employment is the main discussion of this employment theory of Keynesian. So Keynes theory explains about how to get the full employment. For this, he used three new words. I told you, aggregate supply, aggregate demand and effective demand. Now we are going to discuss about this theory. First, we will discuss about aggregate supply. Before entering into this class, you need to understand that aggregate supply is created by appointing more labor. You know, while you appoint 4 factors of production, then supply will happen. So here we take the example of one factor, that is employees, labor. Here we are focusing more on employing of labor. So see, level of employment. More labor will be appointed when more supply has to be created. To produce more commodities, you need more labor. Yes or no? If supply is not needed, then labor is also not needed. So whenever you appoint more labor, more production happens. That more production supposed to have more demand equivalent to that supply. Then only a producer goes on production of the commodities. So here we are going to discuss three things: aggregate supply, aggregate demand, and effective demand. Try to open up your mind and imagination, then only you can understand. Let us imagine, this is an imagination, okay, like an assumption. There is an economy where only 69 lakhs of working population is there. Who want to get employment? There are 16 lakhs of people. By appointing these 16 lakhs of people, we will increase the supply. What? Aggregate supply. Supply of all types of commodities. Supply of all types of commodities means total supply. In general, aggregate supply is also called as aggregate supply price. Here we are using the price because this much of price supposed to be paid to the employees. That is wage, of course. By paying this wage, we can appoint these many labor. Without returns, no factor of production is going to work. That is, you know, and me know. So this is the price what we have to pay to appoint these many labor. With this, our production keeps on increasing. Okay, now we will see that first we will see from here. To appoint 10 lakhs of people, you need to have minimum 500 crores of minimum aggregate supply price. Minimum price what we are going to pay this employees of 10 lakhs of people. What it means? Until unless we don't have 500 crores of rupees, we cannot appoint 10 lakhs of people. For example, if you have only 650 crores of income, then only you can appoint 13 lakhs of population. This is in lakhs. These are 16 lakhs of population is ready to work. To appoint 15 lakhs of people, you need to have minimum 750 crores of income. This is in crores, this is in lakhs. Employees in the lakhs and aggregate supply price in crores. Okay, in lakhs, in crores. Now we will see. If you have 550 crores, then you can appoint 11 lakhs of employees. If you have 800 crores of aggregate supply price, means returns minimum cost. This is what we are talking, minimum cost of 800 crores, then only you can appoint 16 lakhs of the people. If in case you are getting, by selling the commodities, you are getting only 700 crores of rupees. How much? Only 700 crores of rupees. Then how many people you can appoint? Only 14 lakhs of people will be appointed. If 14 lakhs of people are appointed, other 2 lakhs are going to be what? Unemployed. In case if you are earning only 600 crores, if you are getting only 600 crores, then how many people you are going to appoint? Only 12 lakhs of people. If only 12 lakhs of people are appointed, there are 4 lakhs of unemployed. You are getting the point? If the aggregate supply price means the cost which you supposed to be meet is 800 crores, 16 lakhs of people are appointed, there is no unemployment, then it can be called as full employment. That is shown here with the help of aggregate supply curve. Generally, aggregate supply is also called as aggregate supply price. So see here, this curve shows when there is no employment, there is no supply. As the supply goes on increasing, employment is also increasing. As the aggregate supply price is increasing, employment is also increasing. See here, this is full employment. That will be shown with the help of N1, NF. Full employment. F shows full, N shows employment. Full employment, then there is no chance of increasing the production. Till here, 0 to NF, we are increasing the production. As the production is increasing, supply is increasing, employment is also increasing. By the time 16 lakhs of people are appointed, then aggregate supply will not increase. Instead of, it becomes zero elastic. What it is? Zero elastic. Till here it is increasing. Let us say 1 lakh, 5 lakhs, 10 lakhs, 15 lakhs, 16 lakhs. By this place, 15 to 16 lakhs, the total employment is completed. When the total people are employed, there is no chance of producing more. So that's why it has become zero elastic. Now let us go to the aggregate demand. Level of employment in lakhs, aggregate demand price in crores. This is expected income. What it is? Expected income by selling these commodities in the market. Whatever being produced by appointing the employees, that has to be sold in the market. With that, you will get some returns, right? Then only producer is interested to produce. So generally producers have a general view of the market. That is called as demand forecast. If you enter into the MBA, you will come across this word, demand forecast. Demand forecasting, even in CPT also you will come across this word. I mean, foundation course of CA. This demand forecasting is actually, they will have some view that how much demand will be there in the market for our particular product. This is not a simple thing. As an assumption, they have to work out in the market. We are producing this much of quantity. How much of quantity is going to be demanded? Whether this much, this much, this much, this much. So that will be studied by the producers. Otherwise, they will get into the losses. So here, according to the demand forecast, if 10 lakhs of people are appointed with certain product, quantity of product, you will get aggregate demand price of 600 crores. Means this much of demand you are expecting. Here, this much minimum needed to run the show. If you have 500 crores, then only you can appoint 10 lakhs of people. But by appointing 10 lakhs of people, the expectation of the producers is 600 crores. By appointing 13 lakhs of people, producers' expected amount is 675 crores. By appointing 15 lakhs of people, the producers' expected amount is 725 crores. So this shows expected amount. This shows minimum amount to run the show, to keep the production continued or put these many people under employment. So here, when the people are having only let us say 700 crores, then we will see 700 crores, then we can appoint only 14 lakhs of people. Because what is effective demand? Where aggregate demand is equal to aggregate supply, that place is called as effective demand. So here in the aggregate demand price, it shows by appointing 11 lakhs of people, how much we can expect from the market is 625 crores. So according to the demand forecasting of the producers, we made this table. We made this table according to the minimum cost of production. This is the minimum cost we will incur to appoint 14 lakhs of people. By appointing 14 lakhs of people, we are expecting only 700 crores aggregate demand will be there, where aggregate demand and aggregate supply becomes equal, that is effective demand. see here, we will enter into the third phase. This is the second phase. Here we have shown aggregate demand is increasing, but like aggregate supply price, it did not start from 0. It started above that. Shows that whether the employment is there or not, people will go on purchasing, because minimum needs have to be supported in one way or other way. So that's why aggregate demand does not start with 0 but above the 0. This shows aggregate demand price or aggregate demand curve. Aggregate demand is equal to C plus I. What is C plus I? You have seen in the national income. C means consumption of the total public, I means investment of the public. Where this C plus I comes? Out of the income. Income earned by the people will split into two parts. One is consumption, another is investment or saving. Total savings turns to investment. If you remember, disposable income in the concepts of national income. What is disposable income? Whatever you are consuming and saving, that is going to be the disposable income of a person. So that savings automatically turns to investment. So that's why C plus I, consumption plus investment, becomes aggregate demand. That aggregate demand wherever equals to aggregate supply, that is effective demand. So we completed two parts. We are going to merge these two here in this one. Those two tables or two functions we are going to put here into one function. See here, employment 10 to 16 lakhs, 10 to 16 lakhs. And aggregate supply price starts at 500, ends at 800, 500 to 800, increasing by 50. Okay, aggregate demand price starts at 10 lakhs, 16 lakhs of employment. And aggregate demand price in crores starts with 600 crores and ends at 750. It is increasing by 25. Where aggregate demand is equal to aggregate supply, that is called effective demand. So what is the effective demand? This is the effective demand. This is the effective demand. See, but at this point, full employment is not happening. There are still 2 lakhs of people are unemployed. In this one, what is happening? This is minimum what we need to employ these people. This is minimum what we need. So how much we are getting? Only 700 crores. Then we can appoint only 14 lakhs of people. And we know by appointing 14 lakhs of people, whatever being produced, by selling that production, we will get aggregate demand of 700 crores. Minimum how much we needed? 700 crores. There, the effective demand. Then all the producers will stop the production or will stop the supply at 14 lakhs of employment. This shows unemployment of 2 lakhs of people. That is shown here in the graph. See, here on y-axis we are showing ASP and ADP, aggregate demand price, aggregate demand price. And here we have shown ASP, aggregate supply price. What it is? Aggregate supply price. Actually, we don't have enough space on this blackboard, so that's why I'm fixing everything tight. On y-axis we are showing aggregate supply price and aggregate demand price, and on x-axis we are showing the employment. At 14 lakhs of employment, ASP ADP become equal. See, AD is equal at 700 crores. That shows N1, but this is not effective demand, because here at E1 equilibrium, where aggregate supply and aggregate demand become equal, that shows equilibrium, but this equilibrium is not an effective demand because still there is unemployment. Full employment will be shown with NF. Before full employment, the effective demand didn't occur. Before that, equilibrium did happen. So it shows equilibrium of aggregate demand and aggregate supply, but there is unemployment. To cover up this unemployment, what J.M. Keynes suggests is the government has to spend the money on public work. Government has to spend the money on public works like laying the roads, dams, projects, electricity, railways, transport. You do whatever the expenditure you could, but you need to spend the amount. Here we can see first one, AD1. It is C plus I. I told you here, C plus I, consumption plus investment. By only people expenditure and consumption or investment, full employment is not possible. If government starts spending more amount, then automatically people purchasing capacity increases. Instead of 725, it will become 750. Because government started spending. That government spending gets into the pockets of the people. When people get the amount, they start consumption or investment. That additional consumption and additional investment increases their purchasing capacity. So ADP also increases from 725 to 750. Then what happens? We will appoint more labor. When ASP and ADP are becoming equal, we will increase the production. To increase the production, we have to increase the labor or employees. If government is spending enough to make this 750 crores to 800 crores, means 50 crores increased in the aggregate ADP demand price, then it will be 800, then full employment is possible. That is shown here. AD2. This is AD1, aggregate demand 1, with only C plus I, consumption and investment. In AD2, we can see C plus I plus G. What it is? G. C plus I plus G. In AD2, you can see a new AD curve happened. Instead of AD1, we need to see AD2. AD2 become equilibrium at this point, E2. Here you can see there is full employment. Means it has turned to 800 crores. That has become equal to ASP. Then it has become to equal to 16 lakhs of employment. Full employment did happen. If in case government keeps spending more amount, it is going on spending more amount, it gone to AD3. Even after full employment, when from where production will not increase, it is zero elastic. Even after that also, after full employment, if government goes on spending more amount, then there will be a new aggregate demand curve, that is AD3. There is a new equilibrium, E3. First equilibrium is E1, second one is E2, third one is E3. But what will be the result? Production is not increasing. It is zero elastic, perfectly inelastic. Then money in the pockets of people increased, but supply did not increase. Then automatically there will be inflation. This is called as inflationary gap. Inflationary gap means prices will start increasing. So that's why government has to be very careful at stopping the production at AD2. So with this, we can come to a conclusion. J.M. Keynes given a theory of employment with effective demand. Just within 2 minutes I will complete. Aggregate supply is minimum aggregate supply price we need in crores to maintain this much of employees. This is shown by this curve. This function is shown by this curve. Aggregate demand price. This is expected amount of the producers by selling the material in the market. Okay, this is expected income of producers by demand forecast. When this is shown in this curve, AD is equal to C plus I, the total people consumption and investment. This is consumption and investment. This is with this 750 crores, people don't have any more money. Here it shows aggregate demand price is equal to aggregate supply price at first equilibrium E1. with 14 lakhs of people, but full employment did not occur. There is unemployment. To cover this, government started spending more amount. With that, people got more amount. Then there is a new equilibrium E2. Okay, AD2. If government spends much more amount, then there will be new AD. C plus I plus G is AD2. C plus I is AD1. There is a new AD3. Here production did not increase. Here production increased, but here production is not increasing. So automatically only prices will increase. That is called as inflationary gap. With this, we can complete this Keynesian theory of income and employment, which is being explained in the general theory of employment, interest and money in 1936. With this topic is completed. Good day.